What up, what up? It's Marwan Bambley here again with a brand new live video. Not really sure what to sketch, but I feel like I need to sketch something, so just turn the camera on so to have you join me in the sketch session. Just as soon as I can see my own video on my page here. There we go. So, I'm not sure what to say. It's probably gonna be a car. Let's just be honest. I'm probably gonna sketch a car. And I'm gonna start sketching this by just using ellipses. I guess we can make that like a topic for this video, sketching with ellipses. So, keeping it really simple, ellipses we're gonna have. Let's see how many views we can come up with. Same thing here, I'm using my standard printing paper right here. And my crazy effective big pen right there. So that's the tools we're going to be using. I'm going to share this video to my profile. There we go. So I'm going to just make a few ellipses and then define the ellipses more. And then probably, if I'm being real with myself, we are probably going to add some markers to it as well in the end. Let's start by just making an ellipse like this. Bam! Make another one down here. Sweet. So what we want to do here, I kind of want to make these in two different views. So I want to make one a rear view and one front view. So I'm gonna put out the wheelbase like that. 1 and 2. And right now we have the basic proportions of the car. I also want to add the end point here, where I want this sketch to end, or where I want the body of the car to end. And if you have any questions through the video, as always, just type it in the comments to this video and I'll be able to see them live and hopefully answer them. I should be able to see the questions. Let me just... Okay. So we have the two wheels here, or the wheel arches at least. We have the end point of the car. So what we need to do from here is just to define this ellipse however we want it to go. If we want to have an SUV, we need to consider the ride height, and we need to consider a higher baseline here, but I'm gonna make a sports car, so I'm just gonna a front engine sports car, meaning that we're going to have a hood and we're going to have the A-pillar start somewhere around here. And I got a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do this, so if you want to learn all the details, you can just go to my YouTube and check that out. Let's see how we want to design the rear end of this car. Greenhouse going down like, let's just make a line. Let's make a line like that and see what happens. Might like have something go out from this line like that. Same thing on the other side. And what can we do here? So this is 100% freestyle sketching. I'm not really sure how this car is going to look once I'm finished. I'm just trying to come up with some random graphics for this design. Do we want it to be an electric car, or do we want to add some beefy exhausts and make it a gas car? I think we're gonna add some exhaust just because it looks cool. Add one right there, and the second one goes right there. So we can have some graphics for the light that goes maybe like this. I guess that would work. This is a bit of a complicated surface here. Try to make this work because I want a beefy wheel arch at the back, but I don't want the window to be too high. I want it to be a sleek, sleek side window design. Let's make the classic little thing down here. I like to put out the wheels early just to give it some, just because it makes it look cool, and you kind of get the planted feeling when you put out the wheels like this. It looks like it's sitting on the ground. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. You can just fill it out like that, and we can make the front wheel be turned like this, so he's turning to the left. This looks a bit empty here. I want to add some graphics to it, so we can have the line from the rear window continue into an integrated spoiler, maybe like that. And let's make a window at the back here as well. And we can have some air vents on the side of the window, just to add some detail to it. Cool. Next step would be to fill in the line weight of this sketch, and I've talked about that before in pretty much every video. What to think about when you're sketching, when you're filling out the line, or you're deciding the line weight of the sketch. But basically what you want to think about is, of course, the light source. Where is the light coming from? And every line, every surface that is facing down should have a thicker line, a thickness to the line compared to lines that are facing up. So that's the one simple rule that you need to keep in mind when you're sketching, when you're deciding the line weight of your design features and stuff. That might look cool if you add some, like a chamfer here. Something like that. And make the graphics for the light, like all the LEDs and stuff that goes on inside of the light. We can add some of that here. Details. But they don't have to take too long to do. do these details. You can just sketch out the main lines, and then the rest will just fall into place when you look at it. You kind of understand what it is, because your brain fills in the blanks. Filling in the baseline. Since the baseline is the line that is closest to the ground, I want to have that thicker than all of the other lines. That might be a little bit too thick, but there's nothing to do about it now. Just gonna keep it. I think we could start by adding some markers to this if we wanted to, or we can add some more line weight and details to the card before we do that. But I don't think I'm gonna add too much detail to this. I just want to keep it loose. Let's make a door line as well. The door line is going to show how it's obviously following the shape of the body, so it's going to be like section lines and showing the shape of the body. And we can see that the shoulder line goes up here, since this is where the curvature of the door cut lines are. That means that that's where it starts turning down again from the shoulder line. Alright, I think we can start to add some marker to this. This tiny doodle. Soon. Alright, let's pick some markers. I think I'm gonna take these that I had in my last sketch. I know it might have been this one, not sure. Deep violet, or it was this one, I can't remember. As always, I'm starting with the lightest shade first. Let's use this old paper to see. I think I'm gonna be using these two. So I just want to start by filling in the shoulder line here. trying not to hit the big lines too much because it's gonna bleed and make everything too dirty. Just adding this marker on some random spots. Always keeping the light source in mind, which makes it a lot easier to think about where you want to put your shades and your highlights and so on. So if you want to keep it real simple, we could probably stop this sketch right here and just keep it like that and have it you know, just a really simple doodle. But I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more. We have the cool gray 7. I want to have a cool gray 5 is better, so I'm gonna use the cool gray 5. Fill in the other details of this car. So this little side skirt down here, and we also have the inside of the wheels. I want to add that. And we are going to use black to fill in the tires and so on, but that's the final step that I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now, why not? And just steady. And hope for the best, basically. But I think that turned out okay. Dami asks, how do you have lines like this? Not sure what you mean with the lines. So if you can elaborate on that question, I might be able to answer it. Also fill in the black. We can go over the big big lines with the black if we want to, because it's already black, so it's not gonna get any dirtier, if that makes sense. Some tiny details that we can fill in. I think we do need to go one darker purple. So I'm gonna use this one. It is a deep violet, number 81. And of course you can get these markers on Born to Sketch. Use promo code SKETCH10 and you will get 10% off your order. And yes, we do ship worldwide for free. So if you're interested, go check out. We have 20 different sets. So I'm sure you're gonna find something that suits your style, or if you're like to sketch architecture or landscape. design and renderings, we do have sets for that, as well as the big 168 marker set if you want all of them. So go check it out at borntosketch.com. I think I'm gonna add this dark here. Might be too dark for this section. Let's see. I think when I start to think too much about where to put the marker, it kind of gets messed up. The less I think about it, the better the results, I think. It's funny because you just gotta keep it simple. I think that's the whole deal with marker sketching. The simpler you keep it, and if you have one light source to keep track of, it makes it so much easier. I'm using the Cool Gray 4 now. I'm gonna add some. There's also one thing about sketching cars. If you have this perspective, for example, you kind of want to have the focus on this corner here, because this is the corner that is closest to you and closest to the camera that's snapping this picture of this car. So you want to have the focus here and put your effort on the design features that are in this corner. So that's why I'm using a lighter Cool Gray on this wheel here, and I'm not adding as many details here because that's further away. We don't want to have any focus on this area right now. So all the details are going to go around this corner, which means the headlight, the rear light here, this wheel, we might want to add some more details to that. And I want to have a warm gray to fill in the window, the reflection in the window here. I think I might add some blue in there as well. Dummy, I think it's all about practice. The more you practice your lines, and the more your hand gets used to sketching, the better your line quality is going to be. I don't think that it's something that you can learn in a few weeks. It takes a while to get this to get the hand used to sketching fast and sketching smooth lines. And I do have a bunch of tutorials on it if you want to check it out on my YouTube channel. Just search for the Sketch Monkey, and you will have a few tutorials there on how to improve your line quality, what to think about, and so on. I think it's gonna help you out. So I'm adding the blue where I think the the surfaces are going to reflect the sky. So obviously those surfaces are going to be the surfaces that are almost facing straight up. And I'm adding it in the window too, because glass has a tendency to have a blue shade to it. So that's what I'm adding. And this at the back is actually facing straight up, so it's gonna have a reflection of the sky anyway. I think this purple here, the darker purple, is a bit too... It doesn't go well with the first purple that I added, so I'm gonna try and smooth this out between these two shades. And I do that by adding a second layer of the first marker that I used. Hopefully to just smooth out the gradients. It's kind of late now because the dark one is already dried out, so I can't really make the gradient, and this is not marker paper. But let's fix these wheels just a little bit, put some effort into it. We have the reflection of the spoke on the inside of the wheel here. We have the disc brake on the inside. And this should cast a shadow here as well. I'm gonna go over some of the lines again just to clean up the mess that the markers created when I went over the big lines. Starts to bleed. And blur the lines. And I don't like that too much, so I wanna go over it with a big pen one more time. Cool. Let's see what we can do with this rear light. If we can make it look a little bit more interesting. Clean this line up. We can maybe even add some line shading to the sketch. So for example, this part is facing almost straight down, so I can add some line shading in here because it's so close to the ground. Same thing here and here. It's a funky color. Let's add some white highlights to this before we call it a day. Using this Uni Posca pen as usual. And it's not ready yet. I need to shake it more. See if it's doing its job now. Sure, that might work. So I'm adding the highlights on the edges that are facing up now. So I have the light source coming from the top. And I want to add the highlights to the glossy surfaces that are facing towards that light source. And you can also add some random dots here and there, white highlights. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. I'm gonna make the, whatever this is going to be, the front door, maybe side view or something like that. I'm gonna make that another time. And this video, of course, is going to be uploaded on my YouTube. And I did not forget to disconnect my Wi-Fi to my phone, and that means that hopefully it's going to be uploaded or saved in HD now, because I learned the lesson that if I disconnect the Wi-Fi from my phone when doing these live videos, I can save it in HD. Super weird, and it's using all my data, but there's nothing, I haven't found another way around it yet. I'm gonna keep looking though. Oh, not sure about those lines here. It's supposed to be air intakes or outlets or whatever. One more thing. There we go. I am done. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search for the Sketch Monkey for all the previous live videos and about 5,000 other sketching videos. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you next time.